Get ready for a fun and exciting general Bible quiz on the Book of Nehemiah. Each question will test your knowledge, and you'll have only 5 seconds to figure it out. So, think fast. Who was Nehemiah's occupation before returning to Jerusalem? Cupbearer to the king. Which Persian king allowed Nehemiah to return to Jerusalem? Artaxerxes. What was Nehemiah's primary mission in Jerusalem? Rebuilding the city walls. Who was the high priest when Nehemiah arrived in Jerusalem? Eliashib. Which enemies opposed Nehemiah's efforts to rebuild the walls? Tobiah and Sanballat. How long did it take to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem? "52 days. What did Nehemiah do before beginning the rebuilding of the walls? Prayed and fasted. How did Nehemiah respond to opposition from enemies? He armed the workers and continued. What tactic did Sanballat and Tobiah use to try and stop Nehemiah? All of the above. What was the main reason the walls needed to be rebuilt? To protect the city from invaders. How did Nehemiah react when he first heard about the ruined walls of Jerusalem? He wept, fasted, and prayed. What did Nehemiah do when he encountered corruption among the Jewish leaders? Removed the corrupt officials. What did the people do after the walls were completed? Made a covenant with God. Which book was read aloud to the people after the wall was completed? The Book of the Law. How did the people respond when the law was read? They wept and repented. Who led the public reading of the law? Ezra. What major sin did Nehemiah rebuke among the Jews? Intermarriage with foreigners. What reform did Nehemiah enforce regarding the Sabbath? Close the city gates. Who was Tobiah, one of Nehemiah's main enemies? An Ammonite. What position did Nehemiah hold in Jerusalem? Governor. Who tried to intimidate Nehemiah into hiding in the temple? Shemaiah. What was Nehemiah's response when asked to meet with his enemies? He refused and continued working. Why did Nehemiah return to Persia after completing the wall? He was summoned by King Artaxerxes. What did Nehemiah find when he returned to Jerusalem later? The people had abandoned the law. What was Nehemiah's final recorded act? Cleansing the temple and enforcing the law. Great job! Want to test your Bible knowledge even more? Click the next quiz and keep playing.